Zane, it's been a few days since the event that took place under Pew Polishers. And a lot of that time for you has been spent cleaning up what had happened to the less fortunate population of the town, um, getting them to stand down because they were starting to arm themselves, which of course was making the police and rich white people very nervous. Um, they tightened into camps, abandoned a number of spots that had otherwise been considered relatively safe spaces for them. Places the police weren't really interested, places that nobody was trying to gentrify at the time. And part of that was likely due to the population that were squatting there. But what are you going to do when it's a hard town to leave and there's not a really great support structure in place for people like them? This, of course, also necessitated money because, once again, civil aid had been slashed with some new resolutions passed through the mayor's office and the city council, redirected. It's not clear where necessarily, just that even less money was coming from municipal sources, and thus the burden of support fell more on people like you and some of the other folks who have taken it upon themselves to be the champions of the downtrodden as best they can. Luckily for you, that also meant no, I wouldn't say luckily for you, and that meant so much as there was another fight on offer. Uh, right when you needed it the most, almost suspiciously when you needed it the most. And
Yeah, that seems about right.
it's the way it goes sometimes. But in this case, it was a tougher fight than expected. This was, I'm not going to make you go through the roles for the story. You definitely won, but that win was not without cost. And you're pretty certain, even though once again nobody's really going to rush to prove for unsanctioned underground fights, that the guy you fought was on some things. Normally they try to keep the fights as clean as possible, just so if nothing else, so that the betting flows. um your victory definitely cost somebody. Like, you don't even need to do any sort of streetwise rolls or anything, just to know that what likely happened was going on there is that somebody put that ringer in almost like a doped horse, expecting to win big, even though you're the hometown favorite. And when that didn't happen, while a lot of the locals were still pretty thrilled, uh, somebody with a lot of money who is either not local or just kind of stupid um, lost big, and that might have repercussions later. But we both know it's not in you to throw a fight. So, and while you were in that fight, the group chat sort of blew up. You didn't find out about it until after, when you were nicely in an ice bath and somebody handed you your phone to turn back on, and you saw something about missing paranormal investigation teams and everybody going to the closed down sanitarium that not even dumb drunk teenagers really want to risk going to.
Damn it. Okay.
They before you hopefully, or else honestly, for the story once again, before you felt like able to go and try and help them, there's more texts later that say, yeah, we made it out. We found the team that went missing there. Everything's good. It's mostly Annabelle kind of uh, updating you on that. Um, and it seems like everybody's just going to take a little downtime after that. Whatever it was definitely harrowing. Um, for some of them, other people are just seem to be like, yeah, we went did the thing. I don't know what the big deal is, but kind of up to you to decide who that was in this group until you talk to them. However, before you can talk to them, another concern is brought not just to you, but definitely brought to you specifically. Um, that a number of those places that had been abandoned by the transient and homeless population, or even just temporarily really down on their luck population, um, suddenly have new construction barriers and chain link fencing and future home of signs on them. And now that they're able to spread out, the less fortunate population is facing a squeeze. Is there's not a lot of other places for them to go and spread back out again that are as convenient as these places that have suddenly apparently been bought up. They could go further to the outskirts of the town, but that makes it even harder to get necessities. Some of them, a number of them do work in the town for various small wages, and the commute for pushing out that far would pretty much kill any money that they were making.
Yeah. Zane, while listening and understanding this problem, has no real concept of how to fix that.
Yeah, and it may not be fair that they're coming to him with this, but if nothing else, he's one of the people who try and who do make some sort of difference. They're not necessarily pinning it directly on you to say, hey, you have to fix this so much as, hey, we're letting the people who could maybe get something done know that this is happening, that this has happened.
Zane does think about it and tries to see and does send out some messages to like a couple contacts that he might think
Uh,
help out a bit. And he also talks to like some people in the he knows have absolutely been in the fights and kind of reaches out slightly, like tentatively, just to see
and
like
this
is
is
there anything that can be done about this.
Well, and that's the interesting thing. What gets back to him and kind of the web that he's reached out to pretty quickly, mostly comes from Mama Nettie, or Natina Noel, as he probably knows her a little better since he's not one of the voodoo faith, as it were. She is one of the most legally astute champions. And what she comes back with very quickly is that none of those sites were actually up for sale that anybody knew of. They appear to have all been somehow seized by the town, but it really doesn't, like, there's not a clear paper trail to show how they did it actually legally.
Then there's some way that there might be illegal maneuvering. He kind of messages back. He kind of goes, "Is there a way we could legally maneuver them to at least put these construction projects on an indefinite hold?"
The general consensus, after polling some of the other folks who also have their fingers on various pulses in the town, is that it's possible, but it's going to face some really stiff opposition because Jimmy Gatson has definitely started making some pretty big moves. That's the mayor.
Yeah.
Yep. Um, very recently, almost immediately after Randall and the wonderful Leech people stopped being a presence in town.
Why is it that the second I'm done with one blood sucking leech, it's another one?
So, what they're asking for right now is um, more, at least especially from folks who are a bit more on the ground like you, to just try and keep things peaceful but active. Is after the disappearances and the lack of police anything really for them, and basically the disinterest of anyone with money or influence in the town, people are fed up. And it's not just the homeless, it's the lower income, it's the, sort of middle class who've managed to claw their way out of that status. It's people like, no, Natina, people like you, presumably, although, not speaking for you, just kind of people who work in the same circles, as it were. A lot of people are really upset because Field at least used to be, and this is, probably seen through some of the rose-colored glasses of, you know, there was a time, but Field used to be a place that did its best to take care of its own because they had trouble relying on anyone or anything outside of the town. Like what you had here was, who and what you had. And while that's changed some, there are a lot of people who aren't, rich and looking to squeeze a dollar out of everything, who don't seem to understand how they lost that. And there's a groundswell of discontent that is becoming clearer.
Zane is definitely going to try to use some of the groundswell of discontent that's going on, and try like he'll reach out to people and start trying to do some stuff as well, to essentially start launching protests.
Okay. What would he use to do that?
He'd be using his own social presence along with
Okay.
leadership.
All right. Do you have any specialties you think you would work for that?
I do not have any specialties.
Okay. Well then,
The closest thing that I would have would be urban survival, but even then, that's not really.
yeah, I don't really see that one quite tying into this. Maybe if things get a little more violent,
Yeah,
depending.
for this, I just need to roll 7 times.
Yeah.
I got 3 successes.
Three successes is still very solid. That is definitely enough to get people out there with the poster board and, um, you know, keep them from getting to the point where, they could, the city could issue, send the police out or something to try and break it up, but definitely very noticeable, especially around the places that are now fenced off and, obviously somebody's newest pet project or investment. Um, and it gets attention pretty pretty quickly. There's one of the two news crews in town, is even Beverly Field's not the hugest place, but there's I would there's the news team that's definitely far more completely unsuspiciously in favor of city hall and the mayor and the civic works that of course are going on, that are going to be for the benefit of Field and help turn things around economically. And then there's the far less funded but generally more popular news team that's actually trying to fairly report the news. Um, and when they get together, the cops sometimes have to be called. They really don't get along. Um, Sometimes violently, which is actually really kind of part of all the theater that keeps things interesting in the town.
Yeah,
Uh,
there's definitely some effort to make sure that the protests manage to keep those two news stations away from each other.
yep. And with the three, you definitely manage that as well. You do also hear a couple times, and not just because I like to twist the knife, but a couple times that one of the big like also sparks for this unrest is the recent um, closures of some of the low or seizures, really honestly, in all but name of some of the low income housing that that took place somewhat with the help of a certain development firm. That doesn't get back to Alex anytime soon, unless of course, Zane tells her so. But that's just one. Honestly, in other circumstances, it might not be as big a pain point, but with everything that's been piling up, it's just one more clump of snow before the avalanche.
Yeah, Zane will likely mention it at some point, but not immediately at
Yeah,
this exact moment.
it doesn't have to be. Hey, Alex, listen to this. But no, no, it's strangely though, despite your efforts, again, first things seem very calm, but uh, things start to spiral out of control a little faster than would have been expected or at all.
Something less than reasonably
Well,
feasible, almost.
with your role, I'm also going to give you there after the police did have to be called, and they had along with the fire department to put out the smoldering remains of what had once been a smallish department store that actually had served kind of as an ad hoc infirmary for the less fortunate before they had to abandon it. Nobody really seems to know how it spiraled out of hand so much as at one point some shouting started and people tried to calm it down a little bit, but whoever started the shouting would not be quieted, and very quickly things just rolled right out of control, and it went from a peaceful protest with some signs and some not very clever but easy to chants into a violent scrum that put one police officer in the hospital and resulted in the entire building burning to the foundations.
Yeah, yeah. There's
After,
definitely some suspicion from Zane that someone was paid or something was done to fan the flames of this.
yeah, yeah, that's kind of the suspicion. Nobody can really prove it. Nobody even remembers exactly who it was that started it. It was just one more face in the crowd. And then it happens again at another site, not long after, stressing Merlefield's police force and emergency response force pretty heavily. Because once again, it's not a huge place. It's not meant to handle a lot of stuff like this. Um, and after the second time, somebody does grab a picture of the instigator, though nobody seems to know who he is. Um, when it's sent to you, it's kind of circulated around. Very forgettable person. Um, Brown hair, sort of watery brown eyes, very average features. Like clean shaven, but in that he was wearing a green Henley and some cargo, like some stained cargo pants. But you know, especially looking at it, that the stains and signs of wear on his clothing don't match what it would actually look like if he had been homeless or less fortunate. This looks almost like a costume taken from somewhere. It's a little too neatly worn.
Yeah, yeah. He's gonna keep an eye out for this person, but that's the best he can really do.
Yeah, and
And
everybody
like
else
he's
is,
other people to like keep eyes out for him. But yeah,
yep, eyes are kept out, but it's considered for the most part because once again, nobody seems to really know how it got so violent so quickly. Like nobody previous to him showing up, people were just, they were obviously agitated, but nobody was pissed off. Nobody was red in the face or screaming. They had their signs. They were trying to be noticed. Any cars that passed, they'd do the, hey, support us sort of thing. And this guy showed up and boom, everything just accelerated at an exponential pace until once again another building was completely razed, and thankfully no police were hospitalized this time, but there were injuries, a couple of arrests, and there was just no way to save the building. So the other organizers kind of put out, the float the thought that maybe until we can identify this guy, we sort of scale back the protesting. Otherwise, the
otherwise this will
whole,
keep happening. Yeah,
yeah. And so things wind down a little bit and normalize for a given value of normalization. Um, some people dig deep and funding is found to make sure that there's as much medical help and as much food and supplies as can be spared or can be purchased, but it's clear that this isn't going to be sustainable at this point. The pressure is ramping up, and the two riots are already kind of, you know, other organizers know it's going to cut into support for a while.
yeah.
That's just the nature of the beast, unfortunately. And then everybody gets a text from Annabelle saying, "So, Extreme Mike is still missing. Do we care about that?" And that's where we're going to draw the curtain on the cold open. So, folks, thank you for joining us for Everyday Divinity, our second edition Scion game with these wonderful, lovely folks who keep showing up for me to torment and expose them to new horrors and old horrors too, because sometimes you got to bring back classics. Let's face it. Um, we're going to start this off as we always do with the cold open with their intro. So, Zane, Scard.
Hey, sorry, I just saw something and I'm double checking the thing. But yes, no, hello, I'm the Scarred Adventurer. Tonight you have found me as Zane Dawson, in as mentioned our Everyday Divinity game. On Sundays you'll find me as Arthur Wolf in our Shadow of the Voctarm run by wonderful Siosa. It's a lot of it's all of these games are tremendous. I'm going to keep saying that, and I will never stop saying that. It's just yes, on Tuesdays you'll find me as Barlam in Rise of the Temple, run by the True Shadowmancer. Once again, a lot of fun. I play a 2 foot tall stoat that doesn't seem to have fingers unable to stick to things. It's like his hands are covered in jam because of how sticky his fingers are. It's not very funny, but I've said it. Anyways, on alternate Wednesdays you'll find me running Oracle Force. It's a lot of fun. Please check us out there. And on Thursdays you'll find me as Sadnile in Deviant Paradox, run by Sarah. And when I'm not here on Dirty 20 Gaming doing those characters or those games, you'll find me working with Tango Productions to bring stuff and or things to your sensory organs. I'm also in Real DM's Roll D20, so keep your eyes out for that. when more information is out about it. And it's a hot potato, so I'm going to quickly throw it over to Mudkip.
Hello, over on the Discord. I am known as Mudkip. I am here on this channel 2 nights a week. The first of those is our Thursday game for our Deviant Paradox game. There's too many very similar words that all fit together that are technically correct, but Deviant Paradox is the correct one. On that night, I play Grant. He's very much the embodiment of this could have been an email. That's just kind of where his headspace really just tends to end up a lot. There's a lot of, hey, we need to meet. It's like, this could have been an email, please. Or like send better messages, but that's Thursday night. Tonight, I am playing Xander Melanoe. He's there for the plants. It's simple. But turns out the world is not so simple and does not just, I'm here for plants. Because then it sends like mods after you with messages, a whole bunch of other stuff. All that said, I'm going to throw it over to Sans.
Right as I'm changing my notes too. Hey y'all, my name is Sarah. I go by Sans on the Discord. I am on this channel 5.5 nights a week, starting tonight as Alexandria Melanoe. This can't get any fucking worse. Our Sunday game, 7th Siege of October. I play Rose and Oh no. Game Pandora's Nightcast. I play Clarity Palace, the best healer ever, not a necromancer. Our Tuesday game, Rise of Temple, our D&D 5. She actually hasn't used one yet. She hasn't used any necromancy spells. Yet. D&D 5e, a homebrew world run by the incredibly talented Shadow. I play Aiko of House Wolf. Our every other Wednesday game, Mask Orca Force, I play Nightwish, Ball of Anxiety. And Thursday, I am the DM of the Chaos on Deviant Paradox. And apparently, I make people feel very uncomfortable in my games.
In the best possible way. They come back begging for more, like the masochists that they are.
Exactly. Let's throw it over to Soul. That was perfect.
He volunteered himself.
I don't know about perfect, but I definitely called the fire down on myself, didn't I? I am Kevin. Twice on Monday, I run 2 different groups through the same-ish campaign. We're actually coming towards the end. And minor big announcement, Scout's coming back this week. Finally, after many's, we got the forever slightly annoyed Thalion back this week. I got so excited I killed him. Don't worry, he's fine. And we'll have Scout back next week with the other group. That's coming to an end. There's only probably 3 sessions left of that. Every second Wednesday that isn't the ones that they were talking about, I get to be in a game with the mighty Hellhounds 20 in the big chair, where I get to play a 3-foot pigeon who is quite possibly the best liar in the world. But we've been fighting a lot recently, so anyway. And then on Friday, I get to come here and watch Saul play, because I have roughly no idea what he's doing except what he told me just now. So with that, I will, completely unsurprisingly, drop the potato directly below me in Zoom, although not on the stream, to Ren.
Hi, I'm Ren. You found me. I am here on Mondays in the Pandora's Gift Suncast as Xenon Alkaitis, Cleric of Nyx. Alternate Wednesdays as Trek. In our Oracle Force game. Thursdays as Nora Avalon in Deviant Paradox. Today as Juliet Fairchild. And if you haven't caught on to what game it is today, have you been listening? And Sundays in Shadow of the Walk Term as Runa Ingvild's daughter. That is all from me, and I'm going to pass it on back to our Reaver of Fate.
Hi, folks. That's me, Bat Kyle, your friendly neighborhood menace. You can find me here on Fridays. You got the right day, running Everyday Divinity and trying to find new and interesting ways to scar and appall my players. But yet, for all that, none of my players have bitten anybody else in the party. So, that's always a plus. And then you can find me on Sundays playing Len, the Wizard of Ice, Costin, the Usuran Shapeshifter, who just really kind of wants to, stay home and raise a family and gets to probably go try and liberate an entire country, whether he likes it or not. So we'll see how that goes. Otherwise, you can generally find me in the chats of the games mentioned, being a menace and trying to break everybody who dares to look at Twitch chat. Or you can find me on the Discord, being a menace, generally posting unhinged food memes. And yes, it's normally Sarah, but not always just Sarah. And besides that, I'm probably modding for somebody on Twitch and being a menace there too. It's just kind of, it gives me life. But tonight we're here and everybody got the same text from Annabelle. This one, even from Annabelle, who seems kind of like the, cinnamon roll who's worried a bit about everybody, they don't seem like overly fussed about Extreme Mike being missing. It could just be that because Extreme Mike is so extremely off-putting. But they do still feel compelled to try and keep the heroics up as they were and make sure nobody forgets that while they rescued the Solarium 3, Extreme Mike and his cameraman, Ass Dan, are still completely missing.
We sound like lovely people.
They're not. You can look up, you can look up their videos on YouTube, and it's really it's an incel idiot in a trilby hat and Oakleys, wandering around, his only camera, the phone being held by his hetero life mate, Ass Dan, as they go to dangerous places, under the auspice, not that they actually, I think, know the definition of the word or the word itself, of ghost hunting. And unlike, say, the Solarium 3 or others who actually, do their research, have EMF readers, have, parabolic mics, have temperature readers, and all these other tools, and approach things in as scientific a way as you can approach ghost hunting, Extreme Mike mostly seems to yell at the ghosts as though they're actually there, break stuff, make a lot of noise, try and make a mountain out of the molehill of like the few inexplicable things that do happen, and all while trying to shill things. His latest video, or all of his videos, honestly, open with him thanking the people who did his opening theme music. He doesn't know why they've been signed yet. Everybody go like and subscribe. His boys and gals over at Mrs. Potato Dick. They're also very not popular, completely different reasons. But he starts off every episode after thanking for the music by threatening to go give the ghost one of the patented Extreme Mike front wedgies, which has never obviously successfully been done. It really feels like a less enjoyable and way less charismatic combination of Ghost Hunters and Jackass, but only the worst parts of both of those things.
Sounds
good
like
parts.
Sounds like a Halo lobby.
Kind of like a Halo or Call of Duty, unmoderated Call of Duty lobby. Yeah.
Lobby, yeah.
As much as I'd rather not follow this lead, what else are we to do?
Annabelle actually types out sigh in the group chat and then follows it up with, Carlton always said that the McMillan mansion had something bad. He was never very clear on what it was, but he always told me, avoid it if possible. I don't know why he didn't handle it himself. but it seems not terribly likely at this point that they went on, some sort of meth bender and just haven't come back yet.
Well, I'm willing to look into it if the rest of us are.
I'm not, but I'll be there.
I'll be there.
I presume I get a moth, or
You get a moth.
we separated, right? The end of,
Yeah, it's been a day. Like you guys
Right,
needed.
okay.
It seemed like people
Perfect.
needed a little downtime after the whole sanitary thing. So yeah, out of
Perfect.
nowhere you get baffed in the side of the head by another exploding moth.
Yeah. So I need to do a small thing before that. Solace, on part of that day, goes for a run. It's been a while. It's part of who he's supposed to be, and he does the standard thing on that run. Somehow, there's food left out. There's things that he needs happen to be laying around. Maybe intentionally, maybe not. They ones that he needs goes with him. And all that he ends up taking is some food and a towel. And then runs down by the lake, peels down, jumps in the lake, has a little swim about, comes back out, and as he's drying off, he flips his hair sort of more forward over his face and leaves the wet curls in it. And if you were really watching close, you'd see him sort of put on this pretend crown. And then they redress back in their own clothes, but they tighten the waist a little bit, and they're walking a little differently as they walk back up the bank. And one other thing that they find on the walk back is 3 torches, just regular ass, like the torches, the metal handle with the little flamey bit on the end. Just 3 of those on the way back. And he has essentially in that dip, Legba has told him he needs to be like Moremi, the greatest hero. So he has gone through a little mini ritual to come back out in that form. And then the moth
Okay.
hits, and
Whap!
and then just smiles and pouts a little bit and heads for the bookstore.
Okay. And when people arrive, however they arrive, because again, well, Alexandria has a car, and Juliet and Xander are pretty much always there now. Xander lives there. I imagine Juliet spends a lot of her time recently there as well. They can all carpool. Zane has his car, so we'll drive, or so we'll take the Lamborghinis
Yeah.
there. And once again, it seems like Annabelle has just kind of closed up early, let everybody in, and she got a little taco bar set up and waiting. There's chicken and beef and some carnitas, all sorts of toppings. They're just kind of being heroes is hungry work. Carlton always said that. So even if you're not necessarily heading out today, I figured I could at least feed you while we discuss things.
Please. Just kind of makes his way to the taco bar very quickly.
And once everybody's settled and has some food and such, Annabelle kind of looks around at the group, and uh, they're like, "Well, I don't know a lot about the house. Carlton didn't actually know a lot about the house either. Just that uh, the family who owned it eventually died out. It actually flamed out pretty quickly. It would be a better statement. Everything wrapped up in a pretty gnarly murder suicide, and unsurprisingly, not even speculative developers have wanted to touch the land. It's just been one of those places that's tainted in the consciousness of the town. And you've all heard of it to some degree. It's another one of those places where the kids just don't go. You would think it would be a great place to squat, maybe, or to set up a meth lab. Uh, they think there's kind of a rumor that's gone around for a while that somebody did try, and the house didn't burn down, but nobody ever came back out to sell anything. But once again, it wasn't anybody important who went missing, so the Murrayfield PD didn't look too hard. Neville says, yeah, and in the notes Carlton had about it, he had this whole thing from a miniseries he really liked that he kind of like typed out and placed in the notes. And it's kind of disturbing even for what I've seen and read, but I'm gonna share it with you now. Houses are alive. This is something we know. News from our nerve endings. If we're quiet, if we listen, we can hear a house breathe. And sometimes, in the depths of the night, you can even hear them groan. Like they're having bad dreams. Especially the old houses, houses that have had time to absorb life and soul and personality from the people who lived there. A good house cradles and comforts. A bad one fills us with instinctive unease. Bad houses hate our warmth and our humanness. And that blind hatred of our humanity is what we really mean when we use the word haunted. So I never went. He was pretty clear on that, and that little quote in the files kind of made it a little clear that I should not have gone. There's no official records of hauntings or paranormal goings on with the house, just rumors about the family that had lived there and the usual kind of rumors you get from, a rich kind of, or at least once rich, slowly declining, isolated family. Uh, Incest, cannibalism, murders. None of it really proven, but they didn't come to town a lot after a certain point to defend themselves either. And that is where Extreme Mike said he was going in his last YouTube video.
What a brilliant man.
I'm pretty sure he lived under power lines and ate paint chips as a kid, but I can't.
Oh, for sure.
I've seen a few of his videos, and I always have to wonder what kind of drugs does it take to enjoy any of what he does.
Yes. All of them at the same time. He definitely gives even the least socially and emotionally aware person the idea that no women should leave their drink unattended near him. It's like the worst parts of Jersey Shore and the incel manifesto all wrapped up into one person who.
Once again, I gotta ask: are there good parts of either of those things? Either still?
There are
Like, I
some
feel like it's
slightly
all
less
the worst parts.
Uh, it sounded good in my head. However, I'm going to be honest, and I'll just kind of takes a moment, takes a bite of their taco, choose swallows. I'm going to be honest, it's not really Extreme Mike vanishing that has me sending you up there so much as they get up and they go into the back and they come out with a pretty old map of Merleyfield. Like we're talking 100, 150 years ago. style map, and they roll it out onto a table and pull out a little theodolite. I don't think I remember pronouncing that correctly. The pendant on a string, little crystal, and they hold it there for a moment, and the crystal completely and obviously of its own volition. This is not like a, four people touching a Ouija board style trick.
Yeah.
Shifts and hovers right over the location of the manor. This isn't the most precise tool, but, or at least usually it's not this precise, but something otherworldly is on an upswell there, and it's very recent. I do readings like this pretty much every day, trying to keep track of the city, especially after the whole leech, skin wearing leech people thing. That was really a whole thing there. And that's more the reason. And my working theory is that the house, the Genius Loci, there is a little more alive, and it's just been fed.
Why can't you
Oh,
guys
has
ever ask me to come in for like actual like normal problems? Like, oh, my car is veering a little to the left. Can you take a look at it? Okay.
Because most of us don't drive. Could he have made it matte?
I think
It's a house.
So
Did you hear Carlton's note?
what I'm getting from
Yes.
saving Mike is optional.
I think
there
it's
are
more
limits
about
even for
recovering his
heroes.
body.
Yeah, if you could, I'm sure his mother would love to know that he's dead. I mean, would love to know what happened to him. Um,
Feel
and
that from my family.
eh, and otherwise, we're looking for more of the God Nail and or the Titan that attacked, or Titan Spawn that attacked Juliet. So we don't have a lot of other great leads right now.
At the mention of the nail, suddenly up until now, he's just Solace has basically just been back by the wall listening, looking at the map. But with the mention of the nail, he comes over and starts, like, you can see him triangulating in his mind, like how many steps it's going to be from the city on what roads to get to where, because it's out of town, right?
It's like, at the edges of town up in the
Right.
hills.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, one of those spots that, is claims it's in the towns when it benefits it, and
Yeah.
is, we're outside the town, so you don't have authority whenever it's inconvenient.
And then I want to use the old map and the new map to sort of plan a recon loop around it that I want to run before we go in.
Right, yeah, and Annabelle, they bring out a laminate map, like more recent map, and
Yeah.
play it over, and they're like, Carlton was very good at what he did.
Oh, yeah.
I know I haven't really pressed you guys about it, but if you could keep your eyes out when you're doing this stuff for any evidence of what happened to him, he's not somebody who would just vanish without telling me.
Carlton, yes.
Yes. Yeah, Extreme Mike can fuck off.
I mean, he kind of did to a haunted mansion.
Is
Yeah,
there
that's true.
anything specifically that he'd leave behind to be found?
The only thing that he carried with him at all times that didn't have some sort of little bit of magic woven in or something that's useful against different creatures is he had a silver claddagh ring that he always wore on his pinky, and he said if I ever find it anywhere besides his hand, something terrible has happened.
Good to know. I'll keep an eye.
Okay.
Next question: are we dealing with ghosts? Because
Again.
I think we'll find out.
I don't know. He just said very bad.
you should pack up on salt and cold iron, anyways.
I have that. Yes. And Annabelle goes into the back to get some of that. And
Look, just because I don't like the occult doesn't mean I don't know a few things about it.
we've all watched
Specifically
Supernatural.
ghosts.
It's
Yeah. It's not a bad show, honestly. I'm just
no, it's not. It's not.
no, that's the conversation he's having with everyone else at the
Oh,
same
okay.
time.
While Annabelle's collecting some things, Xander, you get a couple texts from some of your folks at the dam. Nobody's cut down any trees or anything yet, but there are suddenly several more vans making their way out there, unmarked, plain white vans, utility vans, kind of like the panel van the Solarium 3 had, but newer and better kept. And they don't know what's in the vans. Some screening has started to be put up around the kind of around where they're proposing to put the dam, and they're stepping up security to keep people away. Nobody's heard anything though from City Hall. No new zoning permits have been filed, anything like that. So they're not sure if what's happening is even legal, but things have stepped up there just like they've stepped up with the homeless camps. It's like somebody's making moves. Dun dun dun. Then Annabelle comes back out with a couple more canisters of Morton salt and a few cold iron spikes. And they're like, these were actually completely cold worked. They're not the most fantastic weapons, but for a lot of things that don't like cold iron, it doesn't have to be a fantastic weapon to completely ruin their day.
Juliet still has the mace.
Yeah, Annabelle hasn't bothered to ask for it back.
Has
fact-
Zane given back the sword?
Yeah,
Mm.
Zane. I remember
It was
Zane gave
cleaned.
back the sword. It was cleaned
he
and
did.
returned, but
Yeah, I remember that.
yeah, if he wants to borrow it again, Annabelle
Yeah,
has.
he'll borrow it again.
Yeah,
I like the
Well,
idea that
great.
the walls in the armory are black felt outlines of all the things that are there, so you can tell what's missing.
Oh, there's
Can
a
I get
place
the
for
sword again
everything.
as soon as you bring back the shield you borrowed?
The thing with the mace is Juliet brings it with her every time they go to the bookstore to be like, I still have it, and if you want to ask for it back, I'll give it back.
No. Juliet even actually provides a little, here's some metal oil for it and something to treat the handle and a little how-to book on how to maintain your medieval weapons. Does anybody else ask for anything?
I
Not
really wish
Xander,
they
no.
made pepper spray, but made out of salt, because that would also be very useful.
I mean, player may suggest Alexandra may look to see if Annabelle may have silver bullets. That's just player above board.
If she believed in ghosts, she would.
Yeah.
The
It doesn't
problem
matter
is
if
she
you
doesn't
believe.
they
Hmm.
exist.
Just ask
Easy
if she has bullets.
solution.
She needs some
Let's
sanity
be honest,
pills.
silver bullets kill everything.
You have a gun, my love, right?
Yeah, I do.
Annabelle, darling, do you have silver bullets?
And cold iron. I'll get you a couple of each.
That would be wonderful.
Choices?
Sure.
Yeah.
I
They
guess
trape
I'm
out
going to
back and
shoot a
come back out.
wall.
You shoot what you can see. That's not one of us, ideally.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's gonna be too mad if you end up shooting Extreme Mike if he's still alive.
Just make sure to wipe your fingerprints off the gun after you
We're
do.
just
That's a
being
library one.
cautious.
So Saul is going to Saul wants to sort of do some reconnaissance first.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So,
Okay.
look at the rest of them and say, um, I'm just gonna go and have a little look around and maybe set the tone a little bit.
Wait for us to go in.
Give me
Um,
an hour. I'll meet you there. Tell you what I know.
All right.
Yes, Alexandra?
so, she has been working, I think, to better steel herself against specifically supernatural stuff, since that seems to be what we're going up against a lot more. So I would like to switch from Cloak of Dread to Perfect Poise.
Okay, I'll allow it. That's your swap. Does anybody else want to, since we're still kind of early in the session, before you're about to do a thing, I'll let you use your knack swap now if you have a desire to do so.
I'm gonna keep master weapons.
I'm already on unobtrusive visitor, and that seems appropriate. So.
I'm happy smelling things.
It's a surprisingly useful tool at the right times.
In case we get split up, I am going to go with unerring delivery.
Okay. Perfect. You've got a Rory behind you.
I do. That's my unerring delivery.
Yeah, there you go. All right. So what would
We might lose power.
Oh
Heads
dear.
up.
Oh, storm.
Um,
Right.
My laptop is unplugged and everything, and it has charge, so we should be good.
I'm gonna run the UPS downstairs so that we can keep Wi-Fi up if we lose power.
Awesome, thank you.
We have
Oh,
been
it could get
updated.
even spookier. Outstanding.
Yeah.
Saul, what would he use? What would you use to do this scouting without going in?
Yep. Get up to the area just in a regular run. I've got the 3 torches with me. It's daytime, right? Because we've.
Yeah. I mean, unless you guys want to go at nighttime.
I don't think.
Okay,
I
I'll
don't
just-
need to for any reason, but the reason I asked is, I get close, and I get somewhere where normally people wouldn't be, but there's at least one window in that house that can see it, and I light a torch and stick it in the ground. And then I
Okay.
start doing the circle around the house just to see what I can see.
The moment you light the torch, it feels on your skin like the regard of a large predator that has just opened an eye and looked at you. One that you might have suspected was there, but now there's a, 400-pound crocodile in the water right next to you that you thought was a log. You suspected it, maybe there were some crocodilian aspects, but there's just that sense of an eye opening, and you are regarded by something that's trying to decide if you're a passing nuisance or food. And no matter where you go around the edges of this gothic style mismatch horror mansion, it's almost stereotypical in the way it looks. You feel that regard.
When it first hits, Solus holds out their hand, like almost tempting it to burn it again. And says, in a very different voice, there, darling. You'll be fine, but you're going to have to wait. And he blows a kiss at the torch and turns around and heads out on his recon then. And if it's watching me, he will Solus will sashay. I take back the male pronoun. He will sashay away from that thing. That thing can watch his ass wiggle as he walks away, as he goes on this recon.
And he feels that he's regarded up until he gets about 100, 150 feet away from the house, at which point it's like a light switch being turned off, or like stepping out of the, summer sun into a cool shady area.
Take about 10 steps. And I wasn't planning on doing this, but light another torch. I got to see this. This is like they got range, and I thunk it in the ground again and look at it expectantly, like I'm waiting for it to look back. No, not this one.
Nothing at
Okay.
that point.
All right. In that case, I'll check and see if they can see it from the house, and I'll go back to you using it as bait. So where I've got the second one, I can't. It's not sentient, but they can see it from the house.
Yeah, they can see it
as
from
much
the house,
as you
but
can
once
see
again,
a torch in the day. So yeah, but yeah,
yeah.
and then keep working around.
You hear very faintly from inside. It's hard to determine exactly what they are, but it sounds almost like building, like sawing and hammering, and the clatter of wood. No voices, and it's not like glaringly loud. It's
Mm-hmm. Are there any?
Could be coming from a TV for all he knows.
Okay, that's kind of the answer, because there's no builders vans outside or scaffolding or any of that shit, so it's entirely internal. Okay.
No, there's not even a car outside. And Ask Dan, or sorry, Extreme Mike and Ask Dan were known to tool around in a lime green Nissan Sentra.
Wow. Okay, not what I was expecting, but okay, easy to find. So yeah, just keep moving in a circle. I'm looking for the thing he's always looking for, doors. Even though he's in a different, the different god is riding him in his mind right now. He's still always the opener of ways. And this is a recon; it's got to have a purpose. So amongst getting the lay of the land and getting a feel for what's inside there, I'm also looking for ways in.
It's got a half wraparound porch, and starting at the front and wrapping partially around to the back on each side. Big double doors. They used to be painted white from the looks of things, but now it's like a grayish off-white with plenty of peeled paint and splinters. There's a side door on the right side of the house, looks like a kind of more modern screen door. Not like, within the last year or so modern, but more of a, 70s or 80s style with the almost like wrought metal and glass and all of that. And then and then the back door looks like it was probably a servant's entrance of some sort at the time. That one is chained shut. It's got the kind of old pull style handles with locks underneath it on each side, which is kind of weird. That's not normally how it goes, but and there's just a heavy chain, old and kind of pretty rusted actually, padlocked shut, or padlocking it shut at the back. And there's a fair number of windows. All of them are grimy. None of them appear to be broken, but they're dirty and grimy with heavy drapes pulled across them on the ground floor. Some of the upper floor ones don't appear to have drapes, but you can't see really any. There are no lights on. There doesn't appear to be any movement, even with that sense of being noticed.
So once I finish the loop, I want to come back to that first torch, the one that was watching me, and do I still get that sensation as I approach it again?
Yes.
Oh, you've been so patient, darling. Let me take you closer. And I pick up the torch and I walk basically directly towards the house. And I want to see if this thing's got a range or whether the house is protecting itself.
That's about the time everybody else pulls up.
Yeah.
To see Soul heading directly for the front door with the torch in hand.
Side door. That little side door.
Or side door. Yeah, side door. But still, the side of the house with the torch in hand.
Yeah. Looking.
Is it lit?
Secret ingredient is arson.
Looking a little.
Okay, it is lit.
A little glazed. Oh yeah, a lit torch at like 10 a.m. Yeah. If you're really observant, there's another one over there on the lawn somewhere. But
And
So yeah, it probably looks to the rest of you like Saul is intentionally has lied to you when he said he would wait, but he's actually doing an experiment. But yeah, I love the timing.
at about 20 feet from the house, the torch gutters and then snuffs out like a lighter that's run out of fluid of butane.
Back up 5 steps and relight it.
It relights at 5 steps,
Yeah,
reluctantly,
yeah.
but
And then,
relights.
and then keep backing up. Is it like moving into more oxygen? It gets brighter and brighter as I get further away.
Yes.
And the feeling comes back.
The feeling of regard has always been there.
Yeah,
Like the
okay.
house has been watching you intently the entire time, except for the second torch when you got like 100 and something feet away.
Right.
And like I said, the regard just dropped off like you had stepped, behind a curtain for it.
So I'm figuring out all its circles on the battle map. So yeah, then I back out and turn around and see these guys coming up the road.
Yeah, Saul didn't sit. Fire to the house. Congratulations. Buddy.
And then I'll actually put out the torch. Just put it on the ground and kick dirt on it. So I still have 2.
Yep.
I found a way in on the side. It sounds like somebody's got a TV or a radio on inside, and that kind of makes me think they might be humans.
Cool.
Shall we go check it out?
On my vote.
I don't kind of have to, right?
The
Okay.
house that you guys. Oh,
I just
go
wanted
ahead.
one more. Well, by the way, the house is nasty as fuck. And I don't think any of you have ever heard Saul swear before. Certainly not that phrase.
The house doesn't make sense. It's a mixture of a bunch of different eras of housing style, like Gothic, colonial. It's got small wings that don't make sense. Like everything clashes. The windows don't appear to necessarily be at even heights with each other, especially on the second floor. The first floor seems relatively normal, but it's really like somebody looked at just houses through the years and kind of went, I want this from that one, and this from that one, and this from that one, and just kind of Legoed them together in a slightly unnerving way. And so Solace leads you over to the side door, and all of you can feel it. With you get within about 100 feet of the house, and if you drove up closer than 100 feet, then as soon as you step out of the cars, because I imagine at least Zane and Alexander about their cars, and with some passengers, and like I described to all, it's like something big and hungry, but also sleepy, has noticed your presence, has opened an eye, and is trying to decide if it wants to do anything.
In Kevin's head, I went, "This monster is imperial. It must be from America. If it was from anywhere else in the world, the field would have been 30 meters."
We don't
On the topic of field, Xander's more kind of taking a look to see like what kind of like grass ranges might be. So like what kind of growths are there? Is there ivy going up the side? Is it like still
Yes.
somewhat pristine looking hedges?
It's a riot outside the house. Nothing has grown enough to block view of the house or even really make the passage difficult, but there are like the grass is high, but not like we have run wild high. Like it hasn't been mown in some time, but it's not like up to your kneecaps tall for some reason. There are wildflowers, dandelions, shrubberies, but all of it seems restrained. Like it's not being allowed to grow more. There is some ivy climbing up the side of the house that Saul's leading you to, but it's thin and only maybe up past the tops of the first floor windows, where normally if it's been allowed to grow for a while, it would have already spread hell halfway, almost all the way up to the roof. But once again, it seems like it hit a line that it isn't allowed to pass. And the band around your bicep squeezes a little bit, and you and only you hear a soft voice like wind through the leaves say, "Something is holding back nature here."
Xander would like to rage.
It's okay. I noticed, but thank you.
The door itself opens without the creak you would expect of, a door that hasn't seen care or grease or anything um, for quite some time. There is no there. Annabelle makes sure that you guys knew that there was no assigned caretaker. They don't have like some of the banks have, where they have a team that goes out and Manny takes care of the lawns at least, and some basic maintenances for houses that they own they want to sell. As far as anyone knows, nobody has tried to sell the land. Nobody has tried to buy the land. Nobody really seems to know who even owns the land, because it's in such a sort of disputed band of territory around the city. So the inner door opens also with disturbing ease. It's just a solid white door, in better condition than the front door. Little brass colored knob, unlocked. Who's going first is the question.
I beat you. Plus, it's Saul. He is the opener of ways. He just would have walked up and opened it. There's no trying to hide or anything else.
Right. It opens into a decent sized kitchen. Definitely not a modern one. This one looks like it might have been renovated sometime in maybe the 30s or 40s at best. Formica in a lot of places, and
Cracked
an
around
old,
the edges from years of wear. Oh yeah.
yep, yellowing and kind of unpleasant. Dusty cabinets, one of those old refrigerators that really, with a little care, will run forever.
Yep.
Yep, with a sort of soft rectangle shape to it, and the bar handle that clicks, assuming somebody even tries to open it. You do see pretty much immediately on entering, there's one of the little round tables with the sort of curvy legs.
Yep.
In the kitchen where an island would normally be, and there are a couple of empty, crushed white Monster cans sitting on it, along with 2 empty bags of Cheetos, the crunchy kind. But nothing else. There's no equipment, no glasses, not even footprints, like from whatever shoes they might have been wearing. Just evidence that somebody was here somewhat recently.
Go ahead.
When Alex finally goes in and sees that, her first reaction is just, we got sent up here because some fucking asshole decided to party. I'm gonna kill him my fucking self.
All right. And the way things shake out, Juliet is the last one in. It's a little strange. Wherever she decided, whatever order she was originally going to wander in, she's the last.
Did she get picked up and put at the end of the queue? Because she was trying to go in right after Solus.
it's just it's hard to say how the physics even really worked. Just
Yeah.
Juliet intended, and somehow everybody else just moved around here like water on a rock. And as she steps in, the screen door closes. The outside door within it closes, and everybody hears the house creak and groan like it's about to collapse. But the sound sounds like the house is saying, Fairchild. And then everything settles, and everything's quiet again.
It's me.
There's no other response. Just a sense of recognition. Xander, now that you're in the house, in addition to the smells that you've come to sort of be used to from everybody else, there you have never smelled the void between the stars before, but if you could, you're pretty certain this is what it would smell like empty, cold nothingness. It's not nothing you have ever smelled before. The leech people didn't smell like it. The Godspike didn't smell like it. Bill Bob, the the bath guy, didn't smell like it. And it's not cloying. It's like it's mixed in with the sense of everybody else.
Does Solace know anybody named Fairchild? Like, it sounds like a family name, and this town's not that big. What was it, the family name of this family that killed themselves?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, Fairchild is Juliet's last name.
Oh, click. Thank you. Sorry, I had my obvious filter on. I didn't.
No, it's all right. It's all right.
I hate when you forget to turn the obvious filter off.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I had it on
There-
blur.
Yep. No, it's fair. It's fair. There are three different ways out of this kitchen. One pretty much directly across from you that leads into a dark wood paneled hallway. One to the right that leads towards. It's hard to say the paneling though. The walls are a little off white. Might lead towards more like a nursery or bedroom area. Might lead towards the laundry. And then the one over here, the walls are hunter green with a bit of a patina on them. And there are no doors that you can see to either side of the hallway until it makes a right near the front of, well, at least what should be the front of the building. And there's no indication, there's no like extra Cheeto wrappers or footprints or dribbles of Monster Energy drink, anything like that to tell you which way you should go.
Xander, can you smell inadequacy and potentially impotence? Because that's probably the direction there are.
Have you ever looked at a picture of space and wondered what does the black part smell like?
I imagine it doesn't smell like much of anything.
It has a smell, and it cannot be described. But that is what this place is. So good luck with me trying to smell any
Right.
Cheetos.
Space. Solace
You're
looks at
right,
the three
Solace.
options. Looks at the three options and tries to think in dumbass. And given white hallway, brown hallway, green hallway, we're going down the green hallway because Solace thinks that leads to the man cave in this house.
Juliet is drawn to the hallway she can't see any doors through. It's a common occurrence for her that there's just long hallways.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was kind of drawn to the green
Zane
one
will
myself.
go down to the Oh, well, Zane's gonna go down the brown hallway to try and split up a bit. Yeah.
All right,
Is
Alexander,
anyone-
who you
Where's Xander
following?
going?
With
Everyone else, apparently.
Saul?
Yeah, down the green.
Or no?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, whoever
Saul's
went down
going
the
down the
green.
green hallway with Xander. Juliet, are you going with them as well, or are you staying with Alex?
No, I don't know.
Because Zane's going down the brown
No, I
hallway,
find
so
this.
Always split the
I
party.
find
You
this
know this by
funny.
now, chat. This is how
I
you
think-
die alone.
Juliet is already walking, so wherever
oh yeah,
Alex.
towards the. Oh, wait,
Like,
no, you did
as
say
soon as
Juliet was going
Solace
towards the
starts
green
moving
hallway.
towards the green hallway, Juliet's like, yeah, okay.
All right, so
I wanted to go
Xander,
there
Saul,
anyway.
and Juliet are going down the green hallway. Zane's going down the brown hallway. Where's Alex going?
Alex gets frozen in fear for a hot moment. Is like, okay, Zane's by himself. Dumbass is gonna get his ass killed. I gotta go follow him.
And honestly,
Damn it.
that's on him.
All right, so three
I
down
was
the
literally
green.
thinking if we all three go down, if we all choose different directions, only one of us has to go alone. But no.
I think it would be funny if Juliet went alone.
Oh no, Alex almost went down the white hallway.
I was waiting for it out of
We've-
character. I'm not gonna lie. I was waiting for Alex just to be like,
Oh,
screw you guys,
same.
and
But
go down the
we've
white.
all seen that movie, and yeah, you
Yeah.
both hit on the same thing. As long as nobody's alone, we're fine. The horror house always kills the person that's alone.
All right,
It's
so
it's the
And Alex isn't having that today.
yeah, it's the James T. Kirk school.
Zane doesn't watch horror movies because he finds them irritating.
Alex
starting-
watches with Juliet.
yeah, and probably poo-poos them a lot in her head. Like, why would they go there? Why would they do that? This is dumb. They should have just left.
So stupid.
Juliet laughs at horror movies most of the time.
So starting with the green hallway team, as we're gonna call you guys.
Angry.
The hallway smells, despite the pattern, the hallway smells faintly of fresh paint. And as you go down the hallway, especially after you make the turn, the walls start to look cleaner and newer. And you can hear a little more clearly that sort of sound of building again. But it sounds like it's coming from within the walls.
Solus is just muttering over and over again, red flags, red flags, red flags. But he's still moving.
A little ways down after you make the turn, there are some windows with the curtains drawn. The curtains look like they were probably very well kept, bright white, like linen on the window facing side, and then a matching green tone, sort of satiny velvet with the little tassels at the bottom, kind of coverings on the back of them. All of them are drawn tightly.
Unless somebody stops him, Solus is going to open all the windows, all the curtains. Let the light in.
You throw open the curtains and nothing jumps out. There's no, shrieking monstrosity. They don't fight you to open. The windows have that old sort of half circle latch.
Yep.
On each of them, keeping them closed. The glass is dusty and thick and a little bubbled with age down at the bottom, as the glass is actually slowly given into the passage of time. But is he opening the windows or just the blinds?
Oh yeah, even more so the windows. I thought, would he stop at the curtains? No, because the windows are a physical openable thing. So yeah, curtains to let the light in, and then windows because it's closed and its doors aren't supposed to be closed. So yeah,
the windows stay closed no matter what
Okay.
he does, no matter how much force he puts into it. Even if somebody tries to help him, the latches stay closed, and they look not rusted. They're definitely not rusted or lacking in an ability to turn. He just can't turn them.
I wouldn't spend more than a couple seconds doing it, and then just sort of kiss his fingers and tap them on the little lock thing. Say, well, all right then, keep your secrets.
A little further down, and you come to the what was once probably something of a grand entrance. There are the curved staircases with the elaborate banisters, some linoleum, or not linoleum, tile. Sorry, black and white checkered tile, and the double doors. And very faintly, all three of you can hear. I don't know exactly how to describe the sound of ceramic fixing itself,
Yeah.
but
We
like
all know
a
it, though,
sort of
right? Yeah.
yeah, everybody knows it. That sort of
Crack. Yeah.
crinkly, crackly sound. And as you watch, you can see a couple of the cracked tiles fusing back together. They're not getting clean, so they're not suddenly brighter, but it's like the little bits of wear and tear, bits of damage are healing. And from up the stairs, you hear a much louder bang and a splintering of wood. And
Juliet's
that's where we're
gonna-
going to. Oh, all right. That's where we're going to switch to the brown hallway team. It gets dark fairly quickly down the hallway. Although I don't know if you brought flashlights, but if not, your phones can work as flashlights because we're living in that time. Not super far down the hallways, you start seeing doors, ornate wooden doors carved with that kind of, squares inset in sort of a grid with thick lines between them and the little sort of slopey recess ornamentation. All of them have what look like iron door handles with the little click latch to open and close them. Doesn't appear to have a key. Just the latches and identical doors on either side of the hallway as far as you can see.
Otherwise known as the centipede doors.
Yeah, I feel like Saul would have been much happier in this hallway for a moment. Just because there's so many doors, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Now, if
Um,
that many closed doors for Solace, that's like an anxiety dream. No!
Like tilting ever the paintings in a hallway just a little off kilter.
Zane will actually try to open a couple of the doors.
The doors open pretty easily, and the rooms inside they look almost like what you would expect a medieval monk's cell to look like. They have
A
a
stone
basic
bed.
Yeah, kind of well, more of a like a wooden cot sort of thing. A little end table, sort of desk combo, pretty basic wooden chair, candle holder, no linens or mattress on the bed itself, nothing on the walls in any of them that he opens at first. How many does he open before
He's
he
gonna go through.
decides to?
He's gonna go through basically each and every single one of them.
Okay.
What? He's looking for someone.
Behind him, here's what sounds like a duck. It turns out it's only Alexandria going.
Just every time he opens a door, Alex is just like, has he never seen a horror movie?
Yeah.
Even though Alex doesn't believe in ghosts, that's actually
No.
honestly the best part.
Oh, I can absolutely see Alexandria trying to Scooby Doo this shit. Like trying to show that it's all the nasty old man from the golf course wearing a
Yep.
mask. Yeah.
It was old man Withers.
Oh yes.
Lorp, it just completely degloves a face. But we'll get to that. After the sixth door or so that Zane opens, it feels like somebody opened windows at either end of the hallway. Starts to feel like there's airflow and movement, and that weird feeling you get when, even with your eyes closed, you know that there's somebody in the room with you, but nobody's visible. After a few more doors, if he's going to keep opening, you get almost to a dozen before you actually find something in one of the rooms. There's a pair of sleeping bags, crumpled, smelling like they definitely hadn't been washed anytime recently, but have been used a lot. There's no clothes, no backpacks, nothing really except those two sleeping bags.
I was kind of expecting a note that said, "Please stop opening doors. I'm running out of shit to put in them." Because a dozen doors, like at this point, Zane is going like, "These are all just the same thing."
They are pretty much all the same thing. At the end of those, oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Alex.
Does he tell Alex this at some point?
Yes, he's very vocal about. Like he hasn't really stopped talking throughout this. He's going, and this is the same, and this one's the same, and this one's the same.
Then why are you opening them all? Then why are you opening them all?
No, hotel security showed up. Sir, what are you doing?
Our guests have reported a disturbance. But no, after that, there is a sudden staircase to the right, just after the last set of doors, and a double door in front of you, like kind of like you would expect to lead to a ballroom or a meeting room at a Ramada Inn. Only, older.
Yeah, let's do the double doors.
All right.
Why?
So
Why not? Look, my goal is kind of to piss off the thing that is in here until it shows itself to me. That's kind of.
We don't. There's going to be nothing in here because ghosts don't exist.
Yeah, and I thought leech people didn't exist. And now we're stuck with these fuckers. So I don't know.
Right. Well, you open the doors into what looks like a small ballroom, possibly. It's gilt. It's a little gaudy. There's some expensive and old, at this point, kind of slightly deteriorating paintings on the ceiling. A painted ceiling, and the walls are all mirrored.
I'm sorry, I thought ghosts didn't exist.
Alex sees the doors, the mirrors, and before she can even look at her reflection, she has slammed the door on Zane's face.
Like, nope.
She's left Zane alone in that room.
Oh.
Because he's not opening the doors and like looking in first. He's walking through each one.
Imagine that, leaving Zane alone in a trope designed to bring upon self-reflection.
The door's closing. Are you still doing it?
So he's in there alone.
Yeah.
He is now.
And two things happen when this happens. Zane, you hear the fuck no or whatever Alex says, and the doors slam closed behind you, and possibly unsurprisingly, there is no door behind you anymore, just a solid wall of mirrors.
At least I'm not alone. Isn't that right, Belt Buckle?
Man, I don't want to be here. This this place does not feel good. Why did we come here?
I don't know. I don't know why I do any of these things anymore.
Oh, at least you admit it.
Look, my worldview got kind of destroyed when leech people started existing, so I don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah, I suppose I could see that. It's kind of old hat for me. I've been around multiple blocks at this point. In fact, I hadn't even invented blocks when I first started being. So I don't know what to tell you on there, but this place feels way worse than being the cape for a stuck-up leech person ever did. Something here is not friendly to the gods, any of the gods.
Well, as long as I'm not related to one, I should be fine, right?
And there's just silence. Absolute dead fucking silence there.
Right?
So,
God damn it.
how about them Eagles?
Zane kind of just like looks over, like does the like pinching the bridges of the nose, just looks and goes, "Would you like to come out here at this point or already, or are you happy just like futzing around?"
There's a crinkling noise, like a glass not breaking, but bending. And and the wall of this flat mirror planes is suddenly being like trapped inside of a geode made entirely of silvered glass.
Like stuck in a disco ball.
Kind of like stuck in a disco ball, but with pointier, sharper edges to the reflections. Even the floor seems to have shifted from the wood parquet that it had been highly polished to a reflective surface.
Zane absolutely sighs and just goes, "Do I have to repeat myself, or did you get my question the first time?"
Nothing. Nothing from the belt, nothing else from the room, just endlessly Zane.
If I'm stuck here for eternity, I could be stuck with a lot less attractive looking people.
Some of the reflections sigh.
I don't do
at
that.
Oh, okay.
Let's be clear, I don't do that. But if
Oh,
I did, that would be wonderful. Zane just like tries to like wait this out. It's like there's no forward, there's no backward, there's no anything.
There is really nothing at first.
Zane kind of like checks his phone and goes like, "What time is it?"
The time it's at this point, I think you guys have been wandering enough, around 10:30, 11. Like he hasn't been trapped for that long.
Yeah, he puts his phone back in his pocket and he just waits.
After a little bit, a path starts to appear. The floor evens out. One section forms a rectangle of a doorway, and all of the other Zanes point at the doorway.
I see it, thank you.
They all go.
All of them silently mouth, "Well, get the fuck on then, Jesus."
That's what I'm planning to do. Like he's walking towards at the same time. That's what I'm doing, you dumbasses. And like I wouldn't see this. God damn it.
Then we're gonna cut back to Alex. Alex, after you shut the door on Zane, what do you do?
Like, shuts the door, 5 seconds, realizes she's alone, and just yells, "Fuck!"
And
Uh,
Does she open the door again, or does she just kind of say, "Good
No,
luck, Zane"?
no, it's not like a good luck, Zane. It's a if I open it back, something bad is going to happen. A or B, he's not going to be where he was, and it's a different room now. I know those are the probably two probabilities. So, no, I'm not going to open it. I'm going to walk upstairs. And I'm starting to use my luck to basically find where I'm supposed to be.
All right. How would she use her luck to do that?
So she's kind of forcing herself in her work mindset
Okay.
and just listening to herself and being like, okay, I need to go here. I guess it would be survival and cunning.
All right.
If
Give
it
me
was
the
a
roll.
roll.
First roll of the night after 1 hour and 43 minutes.
Our first roll of the night
No.
was actually me in the
Oh, you
cold
did
open.
right. But you use real
Yeah.
dice. You don't count.
Oh.
And I was looking at roll 20 when I said first roll of
Okay.
the night.
Yeah.
So
Roll 20, please. Oh my god, my frames died.
Oh,
you're 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 on a family trip to the distant past. So holy shit.
6 successes.
damn.
No.
Okay. So you get the feeling as you start to go up the stairs that something like the house or something in the house is trying to hurt you and not to where you need to be. And inside of you, in a place that you haven't really felt anything substantial from before, just the spark of otherness that you've always kind of felt was there and knew were there because you knew the truth. You feel a flare of metaphysical heat, like something in you is rebelling against what the house or what is controlling the house is trying to do. And instead of just, being led up through some corridors and down spooky dark hallways and maybe sent up to the attic or something like that, the wood and plaster and other bits of house around you growl and groan like it's trying to do something and it is being denied. And it seems to only extend to a certain area around you that seems to flex and shift, but things settle into a bubble of normalcy almost around you. And you find yourself going down a hallway that doesn't change geometry suddenly. It doesn't, offer you doors. Where it leads you to is what looks like an upstairs, could be a living room, a receiving room. It's hard to say. It's definitely an area that's fallen on harder times than the rest of the house. And you see sitting on an old battered couch, one that looked like it was, very expensive at one point, very, old, kind of over upholstered, with a brown satin almost finish to it. Something that would have cost a lot of money once upon a time. And leaning against each other is Extreme Mike and Ass Dan. From where you are, you can't really tell if they're alive or not. But one of them is clutching tightly what looks to be a bronze spearhead in his hand. It's older, it's pitted, it's got a patina, little corroded, but still very clearly a very, very old spearhead with no spear attached to it. On the table in front of them are empty cans of Monster, a couple empty bottles of Dasani, and there's a little cooler with them with the top open, and you can see some trash in there. And it smells. And the reason for that smell is what they've obviously been doing in the corner of the room for the last couple days. They don't appear battered or injured, but both of them definitely also look like a day or so ago they ran out of supplies. Maybe a little longer, just the touches of maybe dehydration, little looser skin. Both of them are sweaty. Their clothes are soiled. Their hair is matted and dank. They don't appear to be tied in place or anything. Like I said, they're not wounded. There's no blood anywhere or bruising. They're just sagged against each other, both in white wife beaters, cargo pants, you know, Jordans. They've got the pulled up socks though, like up to mid calf. Extreme Mike still has his kind of sweat stained trilby. He's got the Oakley's on. Ass Dan has a backwards trucker cap, and also Oakley's on. Big old like the yellow tinted ones, kind of mirror shaded, and they're just slumped there on the couch, unmoving.
You alive?
What? What? And they both sort of shoot awake, and they do that look that people do when they're worried that something is after them, and they just woke up. And you don't see anything. There's a set of doors on the far side of the room, almost directly to your left, and otherwise the room is big, unadorned, besides the little table and the couch. And on further reflection, it looks like they might have dragged them in here from somewhere else. Uh, it, Mike looks, oh, holy shit, hot chick. All right. Things are looking up for Extreme Mike. Hey, baby, did you
Do you
come for
want
an
to get out of
autograph?
here or not?
Well, that's kind of the thing. I don't want you to worry. Extreme Mike always has everything under control. But uh, there's something in this house that eats people. And we know because we brought Big Rick with us this time. Big Rick really wanted to be on the show. Like he's, a longtime contributor. He moderates for our Twitch. And so we bought Big Rick, and the house ate Big Rick. It it was so gnarly. like it sucked the meat off him like he was just a giant chicken wing. Um, I think the bones are over there. I don't know any more. Any points to the other double doors, but um, and we're pretty sure it was going to do the same to us. But I found this, and like it didn't seem to want to do anything near this. Like waves around the little thing, but I also can't really leave this room. I found even with this, and like our phones still worked as like flashlights and stuff for a little while. That was cool, but we weren't getting any signal anymore. And now they're dead. So we've just kind of been here. How did you get in? Why did the house not eat you?
I'm me. Do you want to get out or not?
Yeah, babe, let's do it.
And it's just going to lead them out. And as I pass like the room that Zane got left in, I'm gonna knock and be like, I
Oh.
found him.
There's a problem with that because when you go back to the stairs, whatever bubble of normalcy you had managed to establish, the stairs are gone, and there's just more hallway.
Alexandria go
I,
poof.
it's just the exhausted look.
Yeah.
And then immediately let's find another fucking way. I fucking hate this shit. Fuck.
Green team, you make it up the stairs.
Oh,
You
just before we do, because I want to make an entrance. Solus offers his one elbow to Juliet and the other elbow to Xander, clearly like asking if they would like to promenade. And do you take his arms? Or their arms?
Juliet already going,
Okay.
turns back,
Mm-hmm.
goes, why not? And links arms.
He offers the other one to Xander.
Xander's
like,
unsure
kinda
of what this
crouching
gesture
For
is.
Saul.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Xander's like,
start
I don't know these
skipping
social
with some
cues.
Oz-related wizardry songs.
But so Xander, do you take the other arm? I mean, it works either way.
He's not going to take the arm, but he is kind of putting one hand. My thought is that at least there's a wall nearby.
Yeah.
That he's kind of trying to get a more like a feel for the house, like one would a tree.
Okay. Well, in that case, I shall promenade Juliet out onto the floor. Go ahead. You were saying something?
The image is really funny because Juliet is a foot taller.
Oh yes, yeah, absolutely. And as we head out onto the freshly repaired floor, Juliet, you feel again. Solus is sashaying. He is using his hips a lot more than he normally does, and he's got his hat sort of a little bit forward on his head, and he's just a little more mincing in the way he's moving. And as he steps out onto the big floor, he yells up the stairs, "I love what you've done with the place, darling, but we are just in time for tea, so where's the food? Oh, I brought Juliet. I hope you don't mind."
You hear the clatter of cutlery and plates up the stairs.
Ah, lunch. And I start to escort her up the stairs.
All right, everybody makes their way up the stairs, and there's a landing up there wide enough for a couple people, but once again, kind of heading off on either side. The clatter came from the right side. So
I will say, because Solus is like, he's strutting.
Yeah.
Juliet is normally, by virtue of her long legs, it does always look like she's strutting.
Yeah.
But it's like a flowy strut is how
Yep.
she always walks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So she feels no need to change.
Yes, exactly. Yep. And just to complete the picture that's on our opening credits, As we make our way up the stairs, Saul reaches around to support Juliet with his hand in the small of her back and helps her, just sort of walks her up the stairs, just because we have that image on the starting image and we joked about it when we put it there. So there we go. Wrap the circle. And then look back to make sure Xander's coming. Are you coming, darling?
He's behind. He's by a step or two behind. Unless he's not behind, in which case I'd like to know.
Oh no, he's still behind.
Yeah.
And and I love this sort of image of Saul and Juliet just kind of strutting it up and,
Oh, yeah.
and putting out this whole production, and then Xander kind of wandering behind, like,
Yeah.
I don't
And
know
Juliet
why
has
we're
no
doing this.
idea she's putting on a show.
Yeah.
Like, this is just how
Oh.
she moves.
Oh. Oh, you changed yours. I was going to say Juliet and Solace, and I do have mine engaged. Both have unobtrusive visitor, which is exactly not what we're doing. But technically, we would still fit in if this was a social situation.
Yeah.
Not that it is, but it's just I found that funny. So yeah, we're making an entrance.
So you get up to the landing, and I'm assuming you're heading towards the sounds of crockery and
yes.
such.
Yes.
I mean,
You go down.
she sees no reason to hide. The house knows she's here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And you also make it to a sitting room, although a different one. This one is definitely more of a ladies' parlor. It's got, white and lace and porcelain, and there's a table already set with a silver tea set, perfect little china cups all around, the sugar caddy, the whole thing. And there's steam coming out of the spout of the tea itself.
I hold
The
the chair
doors.
for Juliet, and so she could sit. And then I step to another chair and look back at Xander and say, "Get it for me, will you, darling?"
I pulled the chair for
And
by
Solace
request.
sits down, and it's like he straightens his dress that he's not wearing,
Juliet,
and then
sitting,
puts it.
pulls a chair for Xander.
There you go.
There you go.
Everybody's being polite.
Full circle. Yes. All right.
There is a disquieting, moist, gristly noise. And stepping out of one of the walls, like one would emerge from a pool, they look like fresh bone, still glistening, still a little bloody. A large skeleton. No organs, no eyes. Walking surprisingly nonchalantly. And he looks at everybody and says, "Well, since you'll be staying, one lumber two." And that's where we're going to draw the curtain for tonight.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
I mean, I'll pull a chair. I'll pull a chair for this fourth guy.
Yeah.
I'll do it.
Oh, I love this. Oh,
Hey, we'll just pull a chair. Take a seat.
I love it. I told you, Saul told me something before we started tonight. It was that tonight belongs to Maremi, which is the greatest hero in the pantheon. They're a guardian, so he was protecting Juliet. They're a lover, so he's slowly turning into Mortel Perel, and they're a trickster, so he's slowly turning into Mortel Perel. So yes, we're going to have dinner with Death next week, and it's going to be fucking lovely. Thank you. Every session is amazing. The baddest of the Kyles.
Thank you, Bat Kyle.
Yes,
Amazing.
thank you all for helping me tell this story, because a great deal of what I do is based just on how you are all reacting to things. So thank you to my players, as I just said, for joining me for yet another exploration of the weird, whimsical, and macabre. Thank you to everybody in chat. I couldn't keep up with it because I got to focus everything I've got on these guys and gals. But I definitely saw it was popping off, and we appreciate you. To anybody who's watched on the VOD or on YouTube, Once again, you obviously liked it. So if you haven't already, please go ahead, do the like, subscribe, all of that, follow it up. Go watch the other games that we have. We have a bunch of completed games that are fantastic. We have a bunch of games that are not completed, that are ongoing, that you can catch up with, that are also fantastic. Come join us on the Discord. Right there is Mudkip helpfully popped up. It's bar none the best place I've found on the internet. And we would love to have you and get you in a game or get you running a game. And other than that, I guess we'll just go ahead and end it the way we normally do here at Dirty 20. That the world sucks right now. Like there's no two ways about it. And you can do your part to make it a little better or even just a little less sucky. If you can be nice, be nice. It doesn't cost you anything and it can change somebody's day for the better in ways you can't imagine. If you can't be nice, you can at least be kind to yourself, to others. And if nothing else, you can just not make the world a worse place. That's all we ask. Until next time, we'll miss you.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Night, y'all.